just their load from a rep or participation standpoint. So there's plenty of guys in that category there, especially rookie class. A lot of these guys, like Jordan, like Christian, Lorenzo, these guys come in, and we just want to build them up the right way. And so we just got them in the building a few weeks ago, and so we're going to build these guys as we go. So those come a couple of highlights as we go into particularly OTAs, and I'll open up for questions.
The 4 veterans you listed at first, none of them are injury related?
No. Not in practice. Shep, Ryan, Alvin, Zach. Save you guys the, looking around trying to figure out who's here, who's not here.
How has Chris been?
Chris done a really good job. He's, our group in general, our participation right now has just been incredible. And, when you have Chris here and the work that he's been putting in each and every day and the preparation he's had, what you can tell he's done, from a body standpoint as far as strengthening himself, getting better this offseason. It's been awesome.
Does it mean something to you that, with him being in contract negotiations, that he is here, that he is participating with all that going on too, and not holding out or preserving?
Certainly, certainly you recognize, not everyone goes down, that path in that situation, because there's a business side to this that we all understand and respect, and that's part of this thing for everyone that's a part of the NFL. And he has done an awesome job all offseason. He's prepared really, really well. He looks really, really good. And that group spent a lot of time, certainly in the back end of last year with Tyler, and then this whole offseason, you can just see the continuity that these guys are creating.
How's Jalen Pope looking so far?
Finally was on the field. It was fun. I feel like I've seen Jalen so much this whole past almost calendar year now, and so it was great to see him out there. Obviously we thought really highly of him, being able to acquire him from New England. It's been a great exposure, and I'm excited for him.
How important is it during this OTA session and the offseason to get guys like Jalen and Chris acclimated with the new receivers you drafted this summer?
Yeah, obviously that group we feel really good about. There's a ton of depth. There's a ton of talent in that group. Guys that played for us last year, guys we acquired this year. And so it's going to be a really competitive group. It's going to be a group that, we'll hold them to a high standard because we have a lot of really good expectations for those guys. And so, it's great. And those guys will all mix in there, in various groups, with which quarterbacks they're with and different positions and different roles. We just got to kind of utilize all those different opportunities for those guys to find the matchups.
Was it Rayshon or Ryan Wright?
Ryan Wright.
Hey, Kellen, there's a lot of dominant, kind of strong leaders that aren't with the team right now for one reason or another. Guys have been with team captains.
Yep.
Are you interested in seeing who steps into that void without those voices that have been kind of the dominant ones here for a long time?
Totally. I completely agree with that. I think, and the part of that is to provide different platforms and different opportunities. Obviously, you guys know, I believe in kind of the team component of this thing, spending time together as a team as much as we can, different activities, different opportunities, and then I think that also provides platforms for these guys to kind of take leadership roles in various ways, whether it's in front of the group in a team meeting, leading phase 2 practices, the breakdowns, and then that kind of allows these guys to organically kind of take those roles. At the end of the day, leadership doesn't have to be just 3 or 4 guys or whatever it may be. There's a bunch of guys that can lead in every possible capacity, and so I think it's a lot of fun to see these guys kind of find their different elements that they can bring to this.
Now, but does it have to be organic? Can you target some guys that you might see that has those intangibles and maybe spur it along?
I think naturally there's certain guys that you anticipate being able to provide that leadership role, and so you want to provide those guys opportunities. At the same time, I think you got to let it happen organically at times and allow these guys to find that role. You can't ask someone to just become a leader like DeMario in his style. You got to let let's use Caden as an example. Obviously, he's played in this league. Pete Warner's played in this league for a number of years. Those are 2 really talented linebackers. They're not going to lead the same way that DeMario led, and so allow them the space to present that in their way.
How much of a jump come to that many OTAs, obviously, but the fact that you have Travis Etienne here and getting him acclimated, how much more of a benefit is it to have him being able to just go there and get all the reps into the first team?
Yeah, Travis done an awesome job. He's been here, each and every day, working his tail off. It's been awesome. Obviously, he's got an acclimation period coming into a new organization, and so that's a part of this. But he's done an excellent job.
Jordan Tyson was being limited in rookie minicamp.
Yeah.
What is his participation level now, and was he already participating yesterday? And did you have some thoughts on how he looked out there?
Yeah, we'll still control his volume. For a number of these guys, again, the end goal is we got to have an awesome training camp. We got to be set up for that standpoint, and so we're going to control reps for a lot of these guys, and so we'll utilize them in the ways we can and continue to build them, and that'll go not just for Jordan, but a lot of them.
Is there a different level of expectation? Obviously, last year you got here figuring things out, players' terminology, but now that you have been here a year and everybody does have a different level of understanding, is there a different level of expectation, and how do you measure that?
Yeah, I think it's a fair question. I'd say there's certainly a rhythm that we have now, just in the anticipating how OTAs are going to go, the expectations in which those are done. A lot of the leaders of this group were here last year, and so I think the most important thing is that we can just continue to stack and build. And so we all have high expectations. That's what the NFL is. We all have really high aspirations, and we're really hard on ourselves, and that's how this thing's structured. But I feel really good with where we're at. I feel really good with the way that first practice looked yesterday. Felt a lot better than last year's. There's not a bunch of stuff that you're trying to introduce. You're probably just bringing along the young guys to set the example, or see the example that the veterans have set out there.
Now,
So
to
Lee,
that
do
point,
you
after
think-
a year of evaluation, has anything changed, any shifts or any major shifts since last year, how you operate during this period?
These the early ones will feel probably fairly similar to last year. As far as, again, we're trying to get some scheme introduction in there. We're really trying to get the foundation, and some of the team components will kind of build as we go during the offseason, as far as the team periods and just kind of the tempo in which those are practiced.
Does all the speed you added beyond the obvious, does that help with like the timing and the spacing and some of the stuff you guys want to be able to do on offense?
Speed in like the receiver room and whatnot.
Tight ends, receivers,
Yeah.
running backs, it just seems like speed was
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, no doubt. Speed's a weapon, and speed allows you to threaten the defense in multiple ways. And certainly, I think just the size and the speed combination of some of our skill positions obviously is really valuable. I think for our receivers, there's speed, but there's also size. I think that goes into the run game. Receivers have to block in this league for you to run the football really, really well. And I think you watch when we line up, there's some size there that I think is going to be beneficial for us in the run game. Some guys that we're going to be asked to do some dirty work at times. And then off of that, create some great opportunities in the pass game if we can provide that opportunity to assist in the run game.
What about the tight ends, like they all seem like 4-4 guys, like what does that do?
Yeah, they all got size, they all got juice. They can separate and make some plays downfield, which will be obviously beneficial for us. And when you're with have a couple tight ends on the field, you don't want to limit your threat downfield.
Specifying on Jordan Tyson,
Yeah.
did he do any field work yesterday?
He was out there doing a little bit. Yeah, just a little
Will
bit.
he incorporate with, like, I don't know, 7-on-7s or the full offense?
He won't do any 7-on-7 today. He'll do a couple more of the walkthrough type speed.
And what's your philosophy do you like all rookies, you're a rookie, you have to start with the second or third team, or if someone like him or a higher draft pick shows that they're ready right away, they can get first team reps as early as?
Yeah, it's case by case, I think. We put Kelvin at left tackle last year. We weren't going to fool anyone with that one. So put him at left tackle, give him as many reps with those guys as we can. Jordan will quickly start working with those top guys as we go. And so, and other guys will have opportunities to kind of work their way up quickly. So
What are you saying to do Fast.
Julian is a big-time leader, super smart. When you put him and Justin Reed in back there, and you got Jonas back there with those guys, that's really high football IQ, and those guys can work hand in hand together really, really well. I think the fun part is if you go out there and watch them in practice, just watch them talk and communicate and all the nonverbals that they do. I think it's really, really high level.
Have you identified some guys for like that slot corner role, and is he one of them?
I think really almost just about our whole safety room has the ability to go there, and then we have some corners. And so you'll see some of those guys there. We'll continue to rotate that as the whole offseason goes. And, I think the versatility and the flexibility of our back end is really key. I think sometimes you get stuck in corners and safeties, and it's DBs. They all got to have some cover components, and the way we play, we got to be able to have some versatility there.
So it's like an open audition kind of right now, like just kind of.
Yeah, I think you'll see Jonas there. Obviously, you'll see some of those other safeties there as we go. Certainly, we have some corners who've played, predominantly star position as they've played in their career, and so it'll be a rotation.
How much of a leap do you think Tyler can make in his second season?
Yeah, leaps. I don't know how to quantify leaps, but I do know he's got a great opportunity to kind of just continue to build. And, when you have a full off season with your core group, your starting group, all the communication, all the continuity that creates is really powerful because, there's different tools that he can utilize the more comfortable he gets as far as, getting in and out of things and having the command and control of the thing. And so, I think it's been great this whole off season so far.
And because you guys run so many sevens this time of year, how do you measure kind of his progress? Are you looking at, I think the Cleveland Brown, Tom Munkin was if the ball hits the ground, that's fairly. Do you kind of have a similar philosophy? How do you kind of value?
I mean, we'll break it down statistically. I mean, we're still going to use the stats to tie it all together. But this is part of this process. Is you're evaluating decision making, you're evaluating the actual physical components of it. And you got to test yourself in these spaces. Again, I think that's an important part for these quarterbacks. Is you got to test yourself. You got to test the boundaries of things and see what you can and can't do.
What is Martin Emerson's participation level of this phase of the offseason, and what is your projection for him? He'll work mostly at outside corner, or he's in that slot?
So mostly outside corner. His most exposure in the league has been out there. He's impressive. Looking at him, size, strength. He's got some speed. He can play on the red line. Those are hard downs, and I think he's done it in this league for a number of years. Again, similar guy. He's coming off of an injury like a lot of guys, and so you're always going to be conscious of that as we kind of build him as we go. But, he's had a great first exposure.
Kellen, you signed Jackson. Sermon used to be. Can you talk about it?
Yeah, we only had 5 linebackers, and so we knew at some point we'd have to hopefully acquire another one. And so we had a workout the other day with, about 5 or 6 participants in there, and Jackson did an excellent job. He's been with the Jets for a couple of years on their practice squad, participating with them, been up a few times, and so he's got great exposure in this league. And so, if anything, the father-son thing was maybe a little bit of a, can be a little bit of a contrary thing for him, but they've worked together at Cal before, which I think is really beneficial that Pete and Jackson have worked together, and so that's nothing new, and it'll be great.
Henry Miller has come back from the knee injury. What is his status?
Yeah, still working through the recovery process, and so won't necessarily see him out there in the football elements, but he's done an awesome job.
Are there any other guys injured from last season who won't be participating in the football, like Devin Neal or?
No, I mean there's some guys. Again, we'll limit a lot of these guys as we go, but this is first of a back-to-back, so you kind of got to make sure these guys recover, and some guys will kind of slow down a little bit today, and every week we'll just kind of look at it from an evaluation standpoint.
You mentioned Pete's role as far as a leadership standpoint, but any expectations for him, like his play, his field, Pete Warner?
Pete Warner? I thought Pete played really good football last year. I think he's a really clean player. He plays really sound football, and when you put him and Caden and Stutzman and a bunch of those guys, they've played together and they have some continuity, and so I think that's a really good group for us.
What are you expecting out of Danny in year 2, Danny Stutzman?
Danny, I think just continue to build. I think we saw him as the season went on. He was able to earn more and more reps and opportunities that had more to do with him than anything else. He was a really good player, and so we're expecting that. I think there's always this rookie year to second year jump that a lot of these guys make just because it's their first full calendar now of the NFL. They can kind of use the whole offseason. They're not into the whole 40-yard dash, training program that you have to kind of navigate before your rookie year. And so it's a really great opportunity just to grow.
By the time camp, regular season, whatever it might be, rolls on, do you ideally hope that there's one guy defined in that star role, or do you see more value in that being a rotation?
Naturally, there's going to have to be someone who kind of takes the predominant role. But again, position versatility and flexibility is important. You're going to have multiple guys play there.
I know that most of the offseason, when we've asked you or Mickey about Alvin Kamara, it's mostly been we're figuring out the roster and
Yeah.
things are kind of fluid. At some point, maybe soon, do you have kind of a date when you'd like to say, this is done, so it's it's either finite or it's in the past?
Yeah, I don't think you put timelines on any of this stuff. We're just kind of working through the roster. And again, this time of year, there's, some of these guys, they traditionally haven't come this time of year, which is, as part of their kind of rhythm and routine as far as the offseason program. And so we'll just continue to work through that.
I know know it is early, but have you seen a difference in Tyler, just even the last couple months or out on the field, like just?
I think he's just continue to build, continue to stack. I thought he finished the season off really well, played really good football. You get a full off season, and so I think he's in an excellent spot.
Do you feel like it's changed for him, or maybe he's responded to the fact that there's not, we've talked about it before with the no quarterback competition and all those other things, but like, just what have you seen from him over the course of the past few weeks fitting into that role most immediately?
I think there's a leadership component when you know you're kind of leading the charge. There's a leadership thing that he's certainly showcased throughout this whole offseason, just with kind of rallying these guys and working as much as they have worked through this whole offseason. And then from an on-field standpoint, obviously he's got a great foundation with what we did last year. We're going to make plenty of adjustments and have little nuances, and he's a part of that process. And so I think that's the fun part of this, is every day we're going to kind of be able to build off of something we've done in the past. We're going to be able to put some new stuff in and make some adjustments and build it together.
Eric had shared a story about something didn't go exactly to plan on a practice rep, and Tyler was the guy that kind of led the charge of rehuddling and doing it again. How often do you see that kind of approach from him, like the detail orientation, and just from your perspective, why is that important?
I think it's an excellent example of at the end of the day, these guys are going to make the plays. These guys are going to lead the charge. Our job is to guide them and lead them in our capacity. Tyler's done an excellent job with that leadership role. We got to get it right. We got to play really clean football. And so when it's not right, our guys have the urgency to get it right.
How are you approaching this particular off-season activities portion? Last year was, your first year as a head coach and new staff, but this year, more established, you had a lot of roster turnover.
As far as
Just how you approach it,
Yeah.
how different it is for you.
I think for us, obviously, there's some continuity. There's always going to be change. That's what the NFL is. And so you're always onboarding new players and new personnel and coaches, and you just want to get everyone on the same page with the same philosophical approach. That's going to happen. Other than that, obviously we've found a rhythm and routine based off of last year, and we'll adjust that all the time. But I think our guys are doing really well right now.
Have you guys set up joint practices at all for training camp?
Yeah. So again, kind of mentioned to you guys, our goal is to, get that going a little bit more. And so I feel great about it. I feel like our goal during training camp will be in Metairie, similar to last year for the primary focus of our camp, which is great because we get to stay in the community. Jackson will be here. We'll do a joint practice with Jacksonville right here in Metairie. And then when we go out to California for the Rams, we'll do a joint practice with Dallas and LA separately while we're out there. So I think, these joint practices, I believe in them, just my exposure to them as a coach. And it gives you a chance to get really good work with particularly your starters and your number ones. And, I think a lot of it comes down to teaming up with the right, other organizations. And I feel like we got that this year.
So you guys will stay out in California after that game?
No, we'll do them all before that game. Yep.
All before the Rams game.
Yeah. So we'll do Dallas, LA, and then play them in preseason.
Fletch, before you get started, we'll take like 2 or 3.
No, I was just going to follow up. That's what I wanted.
I know you always have to follow.
So Dallas and Dallas and Oxnard, is that right? Or
Yeah.
where?
Yeah. They'll be out in Oxnard, and then Rams will do out there as well. So.
Football question, what were your impressions of Jamal Mosley?
Awesome, fired up. I didn't know him personally in any way. Obviously, followed him. He was in Dallas when I was there, and obviously followed the Magic the last few years and what they've kind of been able to build there. And so I think it's awesome for us. It's awesome for us. I'm fired up for him, and I'm excited to kind of be able to overlap a little bit more as we go. As he's got a lot of stuff going on right now, but hopefully he comes over here a little bit. I'll probably bother him over there just to see their experience and kind of get to know their approach to things. And you can always learn from these guys.
Thanks, Dylan.
All right, thanks.